Even when you talk for a little bit, you really don't know anybody until you live with them.
But she ain't never seen the world up. She a wanderer, but she ain't never seen the world up.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Funmi-Layo. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We have awesome content on this channel. Also make sure to like this video because it helps me out a lot. This is a follow-up to my video, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out on how to get an apartment and move out of your parents' house. Today we're going to be talking about whether or not to pick to live with the roommate. So I'm going to just go over the pros and cons. So to have a roommate, yes. So I know a lot of people want to live alone, and it's promoted, yeah, I want to have my own space, this, that, and the third. And obviously, yes, that is dope, but it's also dope having a roommate. For instance, you have somebody to split expenses with. It's quite expensive to live in the city, or just living on your own, period. You can really rack up a lot of bills with that. So you really want to make sure that you're setting yourself up to be as financially stable as you can. Because at this point now, ain't no I owe you when it comes to the bills, okay? So you need to make sure that you can appropriately fund your lifestyle once you're living on your own. And a roommate can help with that because you have somebody splitting the expenses in half for the apartment. So that's a huge help. Another thing is safety. Me personally, I have a roommate, and I like just knowing, even though she's not always here, but I kind of like having somebody's presence be around. You know, obviously there's God and everything like that, but it's just nice. I don't necessarily have to see you, but just seeing your, feeling your presence, knowing somebody's there can sometimes be real. My nose was running, but yes, having somebody's presence there can sometimes be very reassuring. Another thing is that they can help out with furnishing. So to get the apartment is only half the battle. You have to furnish it. And though that can take some of us longer than others, having a roommate can help furnish the common areas. For instance, my roommate bought our living room little couch or futon thingy. She got that first, you know? So it's like having somebody to help furnish and make the place feel more homely is nice, so that you don't have to come out of pocket for everything. And especially because you guys will be sharing it anyways. So that's cool. Another thing is safety. So having another person there can help, in case anybody wanted to come in, or I don't know, God forbid, robbers or something like that. You got somebody to help you, knuckle up, what's up, you feel me? But okay, that's a bit extreme, but you understand what I'm saying. When there's another person in the apartment, it makes it a little bit more comfortable in case anything happens. Both of you guys can put your mind together and brainstorm on how to approach a situation, even take safety out of it. Even another thing is just with calling maintenance. If you guys are living in an apartment complex, for instance, one person can be really good at calling maintenance and making sure that everything's to the T. One person can be really good at grabbing the mail and bringing it up for the both of you guys. Things like that. You get to balance out different household maintenance things, and also chores, somebody else to wash the dishes. Although, sometimes you can do one person washes their dishes, and the other person washes their own dishes, which is what we do, me and my roommate, and I think that works out great. And even though there's a dishwasher, but I don't know, man, I don't really be feeling the dishwasher. Like this video if you feel the same way. Like this video if you even don't feel the same way. But comment down below if you're like that too. I don't know, but for some reason I just be I'd rather just wash my dishes by hand by myself. But that's just me. Another thing is that you guys can share things. So let's say you don't have, what's that junk called? The grinder? What do you call it? The thing, I don't know, the thing you put in, it escapes me right now, but what that, like a juicer, if you don't have a juicer and your roommate has a juicer, oh, hey, can I use your juicer? Oh, yeah, sure. Different appliances that you can use from your roommate. You can ask them if they have different things like tape or just random stuff that you might not have, and you just have somebody to ask for things for in case of an emergency, and you can't just go out and get it. You can just ask your roommate and see if they're able to help you out. Another thing is you and your roommate could end up getting along really well, and you guys could actually be really good friends. You have somebody to talk to, even if you guys don't become such good friends, somebody to be a companion and just kind of vent to and speak about your day. it's nice to have that. So that is another pro about having somebody around. So if you're like moving to a new city, you already know somebody, you know, already have somebody that maybe you can go out with, or maybe you can just talk to and just kind of decompress after you come back from work and just tell somebody, hey, this is how it went. So that could be something also. That could be a pro for you. Okay, so now let's get to the cons. So one thing I will say is the safety. So just as safety, having somebody else can be a safety net for like intruders wanting to come in, also having somebody else could be a safety concern depending on how your roommate is and their personality type. Who knows, like even if they're bringing unwanted guests or guests that are like maybe too loud or kind of aggressive. Let's say your roommate has like a bad boyfriend or something like that, it can put you in danger too, because you're living in the same place as them. And if they're having any kind of spiff or anything like that, I don't know if spiff is the right word for something like that, but y'all know what I mean. If they're going through it, you know what I mean? And let's say it's a bad situation and then they come in, that could be a mess, or your roommate could be involved in some sort of trouble, and then you being in the same room as them can kind of put you guys in the same boat. It's just, you know, I'm just saying worst case scenario. The roommate could be a safety concern in that way, or also the roommate themselves might be like kind of iffy, like, oh, this one I'm not too sure. Okay, look, you know, when somebody you just don't quite know with them, you know, so that could be a concern. That could definitely be a concern. Another thing is them bringing their friends and stuff over the house, maybe too much, or not even too much, but maybe they're making too much noise. Okay, maybe they're using your stuff when they come, you know, maybe they're, you know, eating your food, you know, just creating an atmosphere where you're not feeling comfortable, or you're feeling like your things are being used or something like that. That could be a con. Another thing is, what if the roommate is dirty? Okay, what if the roommate is not the cleanest? What if the roommate cleaning patterns don't line up with yours? Well, maybe you're the messy one and they're the OCD one, so that clash to make sure that you guys, you know, do you guys really even mesh? So that could be a concern for sure. The thing is using your stuff without asking, or maybe even using your stuff in general, depending on who you are and what your roommate agreements are in general. Let me know if you want me to make a video on things I suggest if you do decide to go ahead and get a roommate, things to discuss and cover. But anyways, yes, so if they're using your stuff without your permission, or they're using your stuff too much, it's just getting a little bit, you know? So that could be a concern. Another this is honestly, I feel like one of the biggest things is, what if they don't pay their share, you know? So when you're getting a roommate and they're, you know, the expectation is that you're getting it to cut costs. So if they're not able to pay their share, it's kind of like, oh, you know what I mean? What are we gonna do? It kind of puts you in a pickle. So that could be a con. Not that could be a con, but that's definitely something to think about that might come up or whatever. I don't know. Another thing is their personality. What if you don't get along with them? Okay, you know, you really got to pray to God for some grace when you're meeting people, because even when you meet somebody for the first time, you really don't even know them. Even when you talk for a little bit, you really don't know anybody until you live with them. Facts. Like, well, you can know people in different ways, but I will say this, when you live with somebody, you know them in a different way. Okay, let's just like the video for that alone. Go ahead and like the video. Comment down below if you agree. It's just a whole nother dynamic. It's a whole nother dynamic. So what if you don't like their personality, or you see like they're too passive aggressive, they're too angry, they're this, they're that, you know what I mean? So that is something that definitely it would be a concern if that was the situation. So these are like my pros and my cons for whether or not a roommate is a good or a bad idea. And obviously, like, if you're living alone, you know, you'll have the full expenses, which is sad, but I say which is sad, but if you sitting pretty, you know, really it ain't nothing. But you'll have all those expenses, but you'll have your own space, but which also means that you're gonna have to furnish it and take care of the bills and everything yourself. and nobody, you have to like kind of man the place yourself. There's nobody there but you, so you gotta protect yourself and everything like that. But well, either way, you have to protect yourself even with the roommate. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes it's just nice to have somebody else there. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know if you want a dedicated one to maybe some pros of living single, but not living single, but living alone. But yes, I have a roommate, so this is just my personal opinion. And like, ever since I've been in college, I've had roommates. So these are my personal opinions on possible pros and cons, you know, of having a roommate. Let me know, what did I miss? Do you agree or disagree with anything that I said? And make sure to like this video and share with a friend. Y'all, make sure to share these videos with friends who are thinking of moving out on their own or thinking of getting a roommate, because this is helpful. This is helpful information, and they might need it. Yes, so definitely share with a friend, like the video, subscribe, and I hope to catch you guys next time. I will be doing another video about like something similar, whatever. So let me know if you like these type of videos and what other videos you want me to do. All right. I feel like I'm racing. My voice is racing. Whew. I'm so out of shape, y'all. I'm standing still and I'm breathing heavy just to talk. How did that happen? Like, okay. All right, y'all. Bye. Ooh, this nail broke, but look, aren't my nails lit? Yeah. This is my favorite one. Let's see.